Shalom likulam! Hello everyone! Welcome to part 6 of our lesson series on Hebrew prefixes. And this time we're going to look at the prefix mem, which can be pronounced as mi or me. First of all, let's review the common Hebrew prefixes. Ha, that means the. Ve, that means and. Le, that means to. Be, that means in. Mi, that means from. She, that means that. And ki means as. Let's now take a close look at the prefix mem. The prefix mem is the common way of expressing the preposition min. A preposition is a word used to link nouns, pronouns, or phrases to other words within a sentence. They act to connect the people, objects, time, and locations in a sentence. Min is the Hebrew preposition that can mean from, of, out of, inside, than, or compared to. There are instances when the preposition min is written as a separate word and not as a prefix. In most cases, however, the preposition min is written as a prefix, which is pronounced as mi or me, depending on the context. Let's first see examples when the preposition min is written as a separate word. An important thing to bear in mind is the fact that the preposition min can be written as a separate word with the mem and the nun, okay, to spell min, or as a prefix with just the letter mem attached to a word. And we are most likely to see min as a separate word in poetic or biblical language, as we can see in these two examples. So on the right side, we have lechem min haaretz. Lechem means bread. Min means from, in this case. Ha means the. Eretz means land, but we pronounce it as aretz. So lechem min haaretz means bread from the land. And on the left side, we have min hameitzar. Min means from, and ha means the. Meitzar means the narrow place or a strait, a narrow place. Min hameitzar, from the narrow place. So in these examples, the preposition min is written as a separate word, spelled by the mem and the nun, and it is not written as a prefix. Lechem min haaretz is part of the text of Hamotzi, the blessing recited before eating bread or food with bread. Lechem min haaretz, bread from the land. Our second example where we see min written as a separate word is min hameitzar. Min hameitzar is written in Psalm 118 verse 5. It literally means from the narrow place. It recounts how one calls to the Lord from such narrow depths and is released into the freedom of the wide expanse of His salvation. Min hameitzar is the title of a popular chant that is sung on holy days. It has been put into song by many artists like Deborah here. Deborah Sachs-Mintz has given a beautiful rendition of Min hameitzar. So I've put a link to her YouTube video in the description of this video lesson. Now this time, let's see how the preposition min is used as a prefix spelled only with the letter mem. Now here are the rules for pronouncing the preposition min as a prefix. It is pronounced as mi when attached to a non-guttural letter. And it is pronounced as me when it is attached to a guttural letter. So guttural letters are pronounced from the throat. The Hebrew guttural letters are Aleph, He, Chet, Ain, and Resh. So these letters, right, usually would have nikud signs or not. But for example, Aleph would usually have nikud signs, which would tell us to pronounce it as a vowel. Vowels sound like a, e, o, u, right? And you know, when you pronounce those sounds, you would notice that they're coming from the throat. Same with he, ha, he. See, it's from the throat. And chet, of course, is very guttural. It's coming from the throat. Chet. Now, ain, it's like aleph. You see, you have a, e, right? It has this vowel sound because it has adopts a nikud sign. And resh, note that resh is in fact considered as a semi-guttural letter, but we still consider this amongst the guttural letters that require that when you see the prefix mem, you pronounce it as me. So please take note, aleph, he, chet, ain, and resh. Okay, when you have these letters attached to the prefix mem is pronounced as me. In all other cases, we pronounce the prefix mem as mi. And we're going to see a lot of examples. But as always, there are exceptions to this rule. So chut, chutz, and chyot. Okay, these are words where the prefix mem is pronounced as mi in spite of being attached to a guttural letter. So chut means thread, chutz means outside, and chyot means be. So they are spelled starting with a guttural letter. So why are they not pronounced? Why will we pronounce the prefix mem as mi? Well, that's the exception to the rule. For these words, we will pronounce the prefix mem as mi and not as me, even if the start of the word is a guttural letter. So I just want to highlight this. Okay, so now let's see the different meanings of the prefix mem, and we will apply the rules for pronouncing it as mi or me, depending on whether it is before a guttural letter or not. So the prefix mem can mean from. So as we said, it is pronounced as mi when attached to a non-guttural letter, and it is pronounced as me when attached to a guttural letter. So as a reminder, the guttural letters are aleph, he, chet, ain, and resh. So let's see these examples where the prefix mem as a preposition means from. So, ani mi Britanya. I'm from Britain. Ani mitzarfat. Ani mitzarfat. I'm from France. Ani mi Japan. I'm from Japan. Ani mi Japan. Now, look at that. We pronounce the prefix mem, which means from, as mi, before these words that start with a non-guttural letter. So, Britannia. Okay. Tsarfat. That means France. Japan is the Hebrew word for Japan. So these are non-guttural letters to which the prefix mem is attached. So we pronounce the prefix mem as mi. Ani mi Britannia, ani mi Tsarfat, ani mi Japan. But look at the examples below. The prefix me mem is pronounced as me because it is attached to a guttural letter. So ani me America, ani me America. I'm from America. America starts with an aleph. So we pronounce the prefix mem as me, not as me. We don't say ani me America, we say ani me America. Ani me Russia, me Russia. So resh, okay, is considered as part of these guttural letters, which will make you pronounce the prefix mem as me. So we say ani me Russia. We don't say ani mi Russia. We say ani me Russia. And the last example is ani me Hudu. Ani me Hudu. Hudu is India, and it starts with a ha sound. Ha. Hudu. Ani me Hudu. So we pronounce the mem as me because it is before a guttural letter. Ha. That is pronounced from the throat. Ani me Hudu. Ani me Hudu. I am from India. So now let's practice reading. Ani mi Britannia. Ani mi Britannia. Ani mi Tzarfat. Ani mi Tzarfat. Ani mi Japan. Ani mi Japan. Ani mi America. Ani mi America. Ani mi Russia. Ani mi Russia. Ani mi Hudu. Ani mi Hudu. Okay, so I hope you're getting into the habit of knowing when to pronounce the mem as me and when to pronounce it as me. So here are more examples where the prefix mem means from. So on the upper right side, so we have ze mi saba, ze, this or it is. Mi, that means from in this case. And grandpa is Saba, ze mi Saba. This is from grandpa, it's from grandpa. Ze mi Saba, ze mi Saba. But if it's from dad, we say ze me Abba, because Abba starts with a guttural letter, which is an aleph in this case, ze me Abba. Ze mi Saba is from grandpa, ze me Abba, it's from dad. And on the left side, we have Ani kofet mikor. Ani, I am. Kofet, freezing. Okay, because I'm a woman, I say kofet. But if I were a man, I would say kofe. Mikor, kor. So that word doesn't start with a guttural letter. So Ani kofet mikor, we say mikor. We pronounce the mem as mi. But below we have from the library. Me hasifria. We say me and not me because hasifria, okay, beginning with the letter he, ha, sifria, the library. Sifria means library. Ha means the library. Hasifria. So we say me hasifria. Okay, so ze mi saba, ze me aba, ani kofet mikor. Me hasifria. Okay. We see more examples here on when we pronounce me, mem as me, and when we pronounce the mem as me. It depends on whether it is before a non-guttural letter or not. Okay, now let's practice reading. Ze mi saba, ze mi saba, ze me aba, ze me aba. Ani kofet mikor, ani kofet mikor. Me hasifria, me hasifria. Okay, now let's see another meaning of the prefix mem. It could also mean of or out of. Okay, so again, it is pronounced as me when attached to a non-guttural letter, and it is pronounced as me when attached to a guttural letter. So let's see these examples. ריק ממכוניות. ריק ממכוניות. ריק means empty. Mi means of in this case. מכוניות means cars. ריק ממכוניות. Empty of cars. Note that we pronounce it as mi before mechoniot because mechoniot starts with a mem, and mem is not a guttural letter. Now, the example below is reik meragesh. Reik meragesh, however, pronounces the mem as me, not as me, because ragesh, emotion, which means emotion, starts with a resh, which is considered as one of the guttural letters, which tells us to pronounce the prefix mem as me. So, reik mi mechoniot, empty of cars, but we say reik meragesh, empty of emotion. Okay. On the left side, we have examples where mem is used to mean out of. Okay, mitok sakana. Mitok sakana. Out of. Mi means out of in this case. Tok means interior or inside. So it's saying out of the inside of danger. Okay, so mitok sakana means out of danger. Mitok sakana, out of danger. So tok begins with a T sound, and so it's not guttural, so we say mitok sakana. But in the example below, we have me hacheder. We pronounce the mem as me because it is before a ha sound. Hacheder. Ha means the, cheder means room. So me hacheder, out of the room. So let's read all of those with the pictures. ריק ממכוניות. ריק ממכוניות. Empty of cars. So this parking lot is empty of cars. ריק מרגש. ריק מרגש. This woman is empty of emotion. ריק מרגש. Empty of emotion. מתוק סכנה. מתוק סכנה. Out of danger. So that animal is being cared for by the veterinarian, so it's now out of danger. מתוק סכנה. מהחדר. מהחדר. That girl is going out of the room. מהחדר. Out of the room. מהחדר. Now, in our final use case of the prefix mem, we'll see that it is also used to express comparisons, and we will also apply the rules for pronouncing it as me or me. So yes, the prefix mem can also express comparisons, and to express comparisons, we use mem, which means from, in order to express something that is relative to or compared to something or someone. So, me many, me, that could mean from me, from, than, or compared to. Many here is referring to the self. Okay, so when we say me many, that could mean from me, than me, or compared to me. Me many. And if we say mi menu or me itanu, that could mean from us, than us, or compared to us. So look, me many, we use me. We pronounce the mem as me because many, okay, starts with a mem, which is not guttural. And in the example of mi menu, again, it's mi menu. We say me, not me, because menu starts with a mem, which is not guttural. But for meitanu, we say meitanu. Meitanu. We don't say miitanu because itanu starts with an aleph, which is a guttural letter. So meitanu instead of miitanu. So mimeni means from me, than me, or compared to me. Mimenu or meitanu is the way we express from us, than us, or compared to us. Again, we see examples of using me or me depending on whether the prefix mem is before a guttural letter or not. Of course, if it is before a guttural letter, we pronounce the mem as me. Okay, so here are more examples. So, mimcha, mimcha. That means from you, than you, or compared to you when we are talking to a male. But we say mimech, mimech when we are talking to a female. It also means from you, than you, or compared to you, but this is what we use when we're talking to a female. So mimcha or mimech, mimech means from you, than you, or compared to you, and you use mimcha when talking to a male, and we use mimech when talking to a female. Now we say mikem, mikem when which means from you, than you, or compared to you. You in this case when referring to several males or a group of people with at least one male. So we say mikem, which means from you, than you, or compared to you. But we say miken, miken, it also means from you, than you, or compared to you, talking to several people when we are addressing an all-female group. Okay, so mikem and miken are ways to say from you, than you, or compared to you when addressing two or more people. We use mikem when there is at least one male in the group, or a group of all males in this case. And we say miken, miken when we are addressing a group of all female people. Now we say mimenu when we want to say from him, than him, or compared to him. So earlier on we say mimenu and meitanu could also mean from us, than us, or compared to us. We also say mimenu when we want to say from him, than him, or compared to him. And we say mimena, mimena when we want to express from her, than her, or compared to her. Mimenu, mimena. And if we want to say from them, than them, or compared to them, we say mehem if we're referring to an all-male group or a group with at least one male. And we say mehen, mehen when we are referring to an all-female group. So from them, than them, compared to them is mehem when referring to an all-male group or a group with at least one male. And we say mehen if we are referring to an all-female group. So we see the rule of the guttural letters in action here, because hem and hen start with a h sound, h, which is a guttural sound. Then we pronounce the prefix mem as me and not as me. That's why we say mehem and mehen. Now let's see examples when the prefix mem is used to express comparisons. So on the right side, we have this example. Hu gavoa mimeni. Hu gavoa mimeni. Hu means he. Gavoa means tall. Mimeni means from me, than me, or compared to me. So that's how we say he is taller than me. Hu gavoa mimeni. And on the left side, we have this sentence. Hem asherim yoter meitanu. Hem, they, asherim, the plural version of wealthy. Yoter means more than, and from us, than us, or compared to us is meitanu. So hem asherim yoter meitanu. Hem asherim yoter meitanu means they are wealthier than us, or they are richer than us. So let's practice reading that. Hu gavoa mimeni. Hu gavoa mimeni. He is taller than me. Hem asherim yoter meitanu. Hem asherim yoter meitanu. They are wealthier than us. Hem asherim yoter meitanu. So to recap, the prefix mem is the common way of expressing the preposition min. Min is the Hebrew preposition that can mean from, of, out of, inside, than, or compared to. And there are instances when the preposition min is written as a separate word and not as a prefix. In most cases, however, the preposition min is written as a prefix, and it is pronounced as mi or me, depending on the context. And as we saw through many examples, the rules for pronouncing the preposition min as a prefix is that it is pronounced as mi when attached to a non-guttural letter, and it is pronounced as me when attached to a guttural letter. And we saw that the guttural letters are aleph, he, chet, ayin, or resh, and that the exceptions to this rule are the words chut, chutz, and hyut, where the prefix mem is pronounced as mi and not as me, despite being attached to a guttural letter. So those are the exceptions. So that's it for the prefix mem, which can be pronounced as mi or me. In the next video of this series, we're going to look at the prefix she. Thanks a lot for watching this video. להתראות. See you again next time. Happy learning!